What is going on? What's happening? Today we are making a video on how to travel Southeast Asia. It's going to be an overview of the whole of Southeast Asia, and then we're going to be making individual videos from each country that we travel to, and we're going to go into more detail. All the information you need, watch it, take notes, and you should be sorted or on your way to getting your Southeast Asia trip planned out nicely.
We will be putting the times in the description to make it easier for you, so you can just skip the video to just say money.
We're going to try and make it as simple as possible and as easy to follow as possible. Get a notepad, take down some notes, and also we're going to be posting on our website. If you want to go over to our website, it'll be a lot more in detail. All the facts will be there, so you can just literally copy and paste, print it off, go to the shop, get your checklist sorted out. You get the drift.
Also, one more thing, do not hesitate to ask us any questions. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook, all at MİRA Misses. Just type in MİRA Misses and it'll come up, or just go on our YouTube, you'll find it.
All of your questions and help you out.
Yeah, or just comment below. If you just randomly stumbled across this video, or you're thinking about traveling Asia and you're still not sure, in the description below or on the screen now, here's a video of our 5 months in Asia. We put together like a 3-minute video of our whole 5 months there. Bit of a better idea of exactly what goes down out there, and also we filmed every single day when we was out there. We made daily videos, daily vlogs, so if you go onto our vlog channel, we'll put the link in the description as well, but you can see every single day we went out there, we filmed, and you can get a bit of a better understanding of what Asia is actually like, so the link's in the description for that as well.
Okay, so let's get straight into it with the route that we done. So we took a flight from London to Bangkok. I think mostly all travellers will start their journey in Bangkok. We stayed around 4 days. I think that's a perfect time to get a feel of it and then move on. We actually took a sleeper train going north of Thailand. So we done Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, where we saw the highest point of Thailand. We done cooking classes and tried their best dishes.
Also, when we were in Chiang Mai, we went to Thailand's Grand Canyon, is what it's called, and we spent the days jumping off the cliffs into the quarries, having a great day. If you do go to Chiang Mai, make sure you go here. You have an amazing time. One thing I do want to say is, don't ever be put off by something or feel you don't want to go somewhere because of what other people have said. If you feel like you might enjoy it, just go for it. People are saying to us, we're going to hate Bangkok, you're not going to like it, it's going to be too crazy. And to be honest with you, we loved it. So after our first stop off in the north part of Thailand, we then went to Vietnam for 30 days, where we saw the world famous Halong Bay. We took bike rides around the local villages, and we got to experience all the local foods. Also in Vietnam, we went to do canyoneering, which is one of the best things we've done in all of Asia. We done it in Dalat. If you are going to be going there, make sure you go.
So after spending a whole month in Vietnam, we probably went on one of the longest coach journeys to Cambodia. I think Cambodia was one of our favourite destinations of all time. So we had one of the best times of our lives shooting guns. We got to experience partying through the Khmer New Year.
That was like the best night of our life. Crazy street party, water fights, powder getting thrown everywhere, talcum powder. So we was lucky and fortunate enough to be there on those dates. If you are going to be in Asia, do your research beforehand and try and be in certain locations for certain dates, because it will make your trip that much better, and it really was worth it. So after we went from Cambodia, we went to the Thai islands, where we was island hopping all around the most popular islands. The Thai islands were some of the best times in our travels, from going to Koh Tao, going up the highest points, and you can just see the view of the whole island. What do you think of these?
Incredible, and there's nobody here.
There's no one else here, it's just me and MİRA, and this view. The sunny beaches, the sunsets.
Every night we saw a sunset.
Every single night. So if you're going to go travelling, obviously you most likely will. Thai islands have to be done.
So once we done the Thai islands, we did catch a flight to the Philippines. Unfortunately, we got sick actually throughout our whole time in the Philippines. However, it is really beautiful. From what we saw, beautiful places. The friendliest people in our travels were there. Amazing moped adventures. Don't be put off about the amount of flights you have to get. You can get really cheap flights. So yeah, not many travellers do the Philippines. That's why when we went there was hardly any tourists, but do it.
And then to end our trip off, finally we did go to Indonesia, where we only went to 2 locations. However, a beautiful country, very different. Each country we went to was completely different. So make sure you go and see as much as you can. In Indonesia, we went to the monkey forest, where a whole forest full of monkeys. They were quite crazy though, they did try attacking us. And we went to the amazing rice terraces. Also, we did do a stop off twice in Malaysia where we spent one day exploring there. If you want to check out the video there, or in the description, we had an amazing time there. Malaysia was another one of our favourite destinations. So that was a route we personally done. To sum it up, we went from Bangkok in Thailand to the north part of Thailand, then we went to Vietnam, done the whole of Vietnam, then moved on to Cambodia. After Cambodia, we went on to the Thai islands, then to Philippines, and then ended our trip in Indonesia. That is a possible route you could do. You can always mix it up, do it other ways, but that's quite a popular route, and we found it to be very smooth and easy to follow. We will be doing a more in detail video of each country that we travelled. Make sure you check out our individual videos that will be coming out in the next few weeks. A lot more detail if you're planning your trip around these countries. So for the first topic we're going to cover is the budget, how much we spent out there, all of that stuff. So me and Mia, we both had about £5,000 each, and that lasted us very well. We came back with a little bit of extra money. Every country is extremely cheap. Some countries do vary in prices though. For example, Cambodia was the most expensive, Vietnam was the cheapest. For me and Mia, because we're boyfriend and girlfriend, our budget was slightly higher. We went to a bit more pricey hotels, hostels. The only thing you need a bit of extra money for is travelling around and doing activities. Things like if you want to go scuba diving, things like that.
So our budget was £1,000 each per month, which is more than enough. That covers you for food, activities. If you're into drinking, that covers it. So that really is a good budget to have.
Even though you're spending your money and you're on a budget, if you do have money left over, it's always good to save, put aside it. Don't just spend it because you have the money there, because you will have flight costs, travelling around, sometimes food might be more expensive.
It is always good to have some money left over.
So overall the budget, we survived off about £40 each a day. Sounds like quite a lot. If we took out the accommodation and we went cheaper, we could get hotels for maybe £10, which would be £5 each, and we could have just ate street food all the time. So you could probably last off £20 to £15 a day, which is ridiculously cheap.
In terms of ATMs, they are everywhere. Honestly, do not worry about that. Okay, so they do charge around £4 per transaction. So what we used to do was get enough money to last us for the week. That way you're not spending £4 every single day. Also, get a MasterCard, not a credit card, just a MasterCard that doesn't have a chip. So if you do drop it, then nobody will be able to access your accounts. It's not linked to your debit account. The next topic we're going to be talking about is accommodation. As we mentioned previously, our budget was £20 a night. You can get hostels for as cheap as £3 to £4. You'd be surprised how comfy and clean the rooms are. So most hotels and hostels have Wi-Fi. So the best way to book your hotels are booking.com, Agoda, or if you are looking at hostels, it's Hostel World and Hostel Bookers.
We wouldn't recommend this personally, but you can walk into a hostel and get a room for the night. However, you will be limited then to getting a nice room or a hotel you want to go to, because they do get booked up, especially in busy times. So we recommend booking in a few days in advance if you know you're going to be there. Like, use the websites online, as we said. If you have a smartphone, you're sorted for your whole trip. You can use that to book everything. Really,
so don't stress too much about accommodation. You will be able to find something on the day.
So now we're going to cover the travel around Southeast Asia and the transport methods you will most likely be using. So there are 5 main methods of getting around to each destination. So the main methods we used to get around were obviously aeroplanes, buses and coaches, ferries, trains and taxis. They're the main methods we use to get around from destinations. However, some countries may vary. For example, Vietnam, we used a lot of trains and coaches.
Sleeper trains.
Oh my god,
sleeper trains in
longest
Vietnam.
journeys of our life. Whereas Thai islands, we used pretty much only boats to get around when you do the island hopping.
When travelling to your destination, whether it be plane rides, ferry rides, coach rides, you can book like from the day before.
Online booking that you can book for your hotels, go to a local travel agents. There's so many methods. Don't stress about that. One thing I say, don't stress about anything on this trip. It's going to be so smooth.
Stress.
They're going to be cheap. They're going to be easy to get a hold of. So if you want to get the best deals, obviously this goes for all methods of transport. Try and book in advance if you know you're going, just to maybe get a cheaper deal, have a better opportunity of getting a good seat or even a space on the thing. All of the transportation we just mentioned are obviously to go on longer journeys. However, for the shorter journeys, which you might be wanting to go on in your local little villages or towns, you will definitely be jumping in a tuk-tuk along your journey around Southeast Asia. One of the most amazing experiences of Asia in itself. The main method of getting around, just around your local villages or towns where you are, is a moped. And also bicycles, but mainly you'll see so many mopeds, especially in Vietnam. We saw millions.
Especially tourists.
Yeah, the roads are safe out there. I had no experience of driving a moped. found it easy to get around.
When we done the Thai Islands, we had the most incredible times on the moped.
You just get to...
You see
more, yeah. So if you do feel confident, get a moped out. Be safe. The amount of people you see, amount of tourists you see with all cuts in their arms, being fucked up because they fell off their mopeds. Be safe on it. Don't be stupid. Also,
one tip: if you do crash your moped, expect to pay as much as they offer. And two, if you crash your moped into somebody else, you could pay for their moped to get fixed, their medical fees.
Remember, you're not from their country, so they can rip you off as much as they want.
Exactly.
Also, be aware you do need an international driving license. Even though I didn't have one, you are supposed to have one. So if you do get into trouble out there, you can get in a lot of shit. Do your research beforehand. Make sure you know what you're doing, and try to avoid as much trouble as you can on them, or you might have a hefty fine at the end of it. Tip we'd say for the mopeds is, we always book for our hotels, got the mopeds for our hotels, and also take a photo of the bike in front of the guy who brings you the moped so they can see you mean business, basically. Otherwise, they can say at the end of it, oh, you caused a scratch, you have to pay. Yes, we did give our passports over. You're not supposed to, but a lot of them say that they want the passport. So if you're not going to give the passport, they're most likely not going to give the bike.
To be fair, we had no problems with passports. They do give it back. They don't hold your passport.
We were there for 5 months. We didn't have one situation where the situation was bad, so it was all good. Just be careful, as we said, and drive safe. You won't have any accidents. You'll be fine. The only other problem you might face is police, and you just bribe them off with a bit of money. Exactly. We didn't experience this. We heard about other people having to do that.
Don't let the horror stories put you off. But before coming out to Asia, we really heard a lot of horror stories like you're gonna get robbed in
someone's gonna snatch your camera. Yeah, you hear these horror stories. However, we was there for 5 months. We didn't experience any problems with our hotels or hostels.
And we did bring a lot of electricals with us.
Yeah, we bought a laptop, a MacBook laptop. We bought 2 GoPros, 2 Canon cameras.
Before booking your hotel or hostel online, it will say if it has a safety deposit box. Most hotels do, and hostels, most of them, you will have shared safety deposit box. I'm not sure how it works.
And even, you have like lockers. As for walking around town, you know, just keep your camera. We used to film every single day with our camera.
Exactly.
We used to go around with our little Canon G7X, and we had no problems with that. We film like this all the time. Just be safe with it. Keep your eyes peeled.
Just be wary of your thing.
Be streetwise.
And that's it.
So, also out travelling, food, you're going to have some of the best food of your life.
Food was so good.
For us personally, Thailand was the best food. Chicken cashew nuts are my favourite.
Every country's different. They all have their own cuisine, which is really, really good.
Cheap as anything, especially if you eat street food. It's very safe out there as well. Don't feel like, street food going to be safe for you. A lot of people say as well, street food is a lot more safe than, for example, going to a restaurant or like a fast food chain.
We didn't get sick not once from eating food.
Most of it's cooked fresh. You see it there, getting cooked fresh. Also, a tip for the street food is go to the place where there's a lot of tissue and rubbish on the floor, because it means it's busy. So, for example, street food is your cheapest option for food, whereas you can go to restaurants, get nice food as well. Maybe still very cheap, like £4, maybe £5.
Expect to pay double.
Yeah, like double. But there's so many food options. You're going to love it out there. If you love food, go to Asia, basically.
So the last topic that we're going to be talking about is overall tips.
And just things that are going to be essential for you if you're going out there. So we've got quite a few tips written down here. We're just going to tell you them. And if we do forget any, we'll put it on our blog.
So the first tip is invest in good travel insurance. Okay, people are going to tell you all the time, but really do it.
Yep.
We lost a GoPro and we both actually felt really ill. So our medical fees were really high. Really high. They were around actually £400 medical fee. So it's a good job we did have travel insurance.
Just to be safe, I'd say it's more of a risk not getting it than getting it. People say there's a lot of scams out there. Yeah, there's a few. For example, when we got off in Bangkok, we did get scammed by the taxi driver. Always look for a meter in the taxi, or look up the prices beforehand to get a rough idea so you're not getting too ripped off.
Yeah, make sure you settle a price before entering the tuk-tuk or taxi, otherwise they can charge you whatever they want. Meter taxis are actually the most cheapest way of transportation.
Definitely. Be aware there are a few little petty scams here and there. You can research online, but they'll try and tell you, oh, this place is closed, go to this place, and they'll get commission for that. Other than that, we didn't really get scammed by anything else, did we?
No, we really actually didn't have any scams.
I think you can research the scams online. There's quite a few.
One of the main scams is going to be down to money. So when they see Westerners, they're going to try and charge more money.
And speaking about money, always try and haggle down. So if you go to a place, try and knock them down 30-40%. They're more than willing to do it. One major tip I'd say for everyone going out backpacking, do your research in all areas. Do your research on the route, on the area you're going to, on scams in that area. all of that. If you have knowledge, then you're more than likely going to have a better understanding of what to do when you get there, and you won't be so overwhelmed when you arrive in the place and not knowing what to do. So just do your research before. You can get books like Southeast Asia on a Budget by Lonely Planet, I think it was. There's many websites, blogs, so just do your research and you'll be fine. That's my main tip I can give everyone who's going to be going.
Another tip would be, don't plan the whole thing before you go. We was going to plan everything from date to date.
And book the hotels for each destination.
You might fall in love with a place like we did in Koh Town. We stayed there 5 extra days.
Yeah.
So just go with the flow, be around a week in advance. Some people actually just go day by day. They don't even know where they're going to be.
We met many people when we say, where are you going tomorrow? They're like, I don't know. Can't stress enough how relaxed Asia is and how it just flows so smoothly. We had a massive rucksack. It was like 70 litres, and when we came back to England we unpacked it and we put a whole pile aside of things we didn't actually use. So don't overpack. We did actually pack very little clothes. The main thing that took up room for us, because we were making vlogs every single day, was a lot of our electrical gear. So you can easily pack a bag, 70 litre one like we got, make it nice and light, a few clothes.
I think you could do a 50 litres.
Yeah, and you can buy clothes out and you can buy t-shirts for £2, so don't worry about that. Don't overpack, underpack if anything, and then buy shit out there. So there's just a few main tips we have. We're not going to go into crazy detail in the video because it could go on forever. So go and check out our blog. We're going to put a whole list of all the tips you'll need to know, and it'll be quicker for you to just read and take down the notes rather than us just giving you a whole list now. So that's the overview of Southeast Asia. So we covered everything we thought that you would need to know for the overview. We will be creating the how to travel Thailand, how to travel Vietnam, how to travel Cambodia, how to travel Philippines, how to travel Indonesia, going into more detail, the budget we spent there, how long we was there for, tips in those countries.
Everything. So we hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you out. And also, don't forget, do not hesitate to ask us questions.
Hit us up,
more than happy
social
to
media, we'd
them.
love to answer and help you out. Or email us, emails in the description, meandmymissus@gmail.com. Stay tuned for our videos on how to travel each country, and we hope this was helpful.
Also, one more thing, you are going to have the time of your lives. Enjoy it, embrace all the different cultures. You are going to have so much fun.
We wish we were there again. We went for 5 months and we will be going back, definitely, without a doubt. Thank you for watching our video. Hopefully it helped you out, because we covered all the things we wanted to know before going out there.
And also, if we did inspire you to travel Asia, send us some of your pictures.
Yeah, let us know.
I'd love to see what you guys are up to.
We would love to know.